War Eagle, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of E2C Network Live. We are broadcasting right here on YouTube and on social media as well. Talk about what's going on in the world of Auburn stuff, Auburn sports, Auburn anything. We talk about it here. I'm actually sporting the basketball shirt, hashtag basketball school shirt that I got a long time ago. I felt like today was an appropriate day to break that out. For all of us Auburn basketball fans out there today with a humongous upset over the Tennessee Volunteers. As you come in, do me a couple of favors here. Let me know that you're here by saying War Eagle, hello, what have you. We've got rogue fans in here, which we seem to do get a lot of. That tends to happen from time to time. Welcome as well, I guess. But just let me know that you're here and that you're watching live. As I said, right here in front of me, we've got YouTube broadcasting loud and proud. We also have Twitter. I've almost said Facebook, but Twitter going in over here as well. So you guys are welcome to enjoy the live stream from that format. We always want to invite you to come on over here to the YouTube version of it, where it's the better setup and all that kind of stuff. But you're welcome to hang out over there. As you come in, please do make sure you smash that like button if you're enjoying the content today. All that good stuff. It does help invite more people in to be part of our live streams here and to hang out with us a little bit and have some fun talking about some cool things that are happening in Auburn sports right now. So as I said, the major topic that I have for today is going to be the Auburn basketball upset of Tennessee that I think a lot of us are shocked by, if we're completely honest here. I think a lot of us were very down about the basketball team at this moment, but I think things have certainly changed and gotten better after today's win. It's always fun to see how the perspective changes for everybody after a humongous win like this. So what we're going to do here is we'll obviously talk about that a lot today and on this stream, but I also want us to have the freedom to talk about whatever is on your mind and your heart. So if there's something specific that you want to talk about, we can do that here on this stream. So don't be shy to post things, questions, comments as you want to do that. A couple things before we get started, though. Here are the, on YouTube at least, you can see this little card that I bring up, ways that you can help support our podcast network here or even the content that we do here on YouTube. Right here in front of you, you can see you can listen to the podcast, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, anything like that. All the links for this are going to be in the top of the chat, the live chat window here on YouTube, but also they will be in the description as well. And you can find them pretty much anywhere if you want to look at some of these. You can join the Booster Club for as little as $1 a month. Today, and I'll stress this enough, if you want to come see what it's all about, today is a good day to do that because you don't get charged until the beginning of the month. So even for just $1 a month, if you want to sign up, check it out, and pull it out a day later and say, that wasn't so much what I wanted to do, today's a good day to go investigate it so you won't get charged. But go check that out if you want to see that and check out on some of those other things. We have like PayPal, our TeePublic store. There is a sale going on. I'll throw this up here just for a little quick reminder. You can buy our logo, other cool Auburn-related gear over at our TeePublic store. Links are, like I said, in the chat window and in the thing below. So go check all that good stuff out if you want to take part of it. All right, so what's going on, everybody? Who's excited? Who's feeling a lot better about Auburn basketball after this this win? What's your impressions, big takeaways, all that stuff? Let's just start throwing it in here right now. Just hit me with it. Hit me with it fast and hard there. And the War Productions is here, and he's very proud that he says, I'm the first to make it. You were the first to make it. Appreciate that. He says, if the rest of the team played like that all season, we'd be contending for a conference title right now. It's been all Sharif. I think that's I guess I agree with part of that statement, War Productions, but I don't agree with all of it. I think the program and the team showed that it could be successful without Sharif Cooper before he got there. Now, that was without Justin Powell. Oh, that was with Justin Powell. Once he left, you kind of saw a little bit of the struggles that we saw post Sharif Cooper rear their ugly heads again. But now that I think what this shows is that this team is capable of being good, being successful without Sharif Cooper, without Justin Powell. Can it be maintained to the level without them? Probably not. But it's probably something that a lot of Auburn Tiger fans were honestly surprised by to see them do this well. As for baseball, if we play like that the rest of the season, it will be a tough time in the SEC schedule. Yeah. Does anybody want to give me an update on what's going on with the whole Round Rock Classic thing today? Last time I checked, they were down 6-1, I think, to Baylor. Not what I anticipated at all. I'm not shocked that they got beat by Oklahoma yesterday, to be honest with you, but I do find it surprising that they're struggling with Baylor today, because I don't even think Baylor's ranked. If I have that correct, I know Texas A&M is like in the bottom half of the top 25, or in the lower part of it. So I expected a few struggles there, but not with Baylor. 78S Willie says, and actually I'm just trying to get a couple things. Bear with me just a second here. I'm trying to make sure I've got a couple things lined up on here for you guys. 9-2 last time he checked. Oh, that's great. Thanks for that. That's going to make me feel real good about all this. Did I see the virtual tour of the football complex? I believe I did. If we're thinking of the same thing, it looks really cool. I probably should have thought about doing like a live stream where we all walk through it together. Maybe we can do that at some point. What I'm doing now is compiling a list of things that we want to talk about. We've been saying forever that we were going to do an initial analysis of the 2022 recruiting class, but big things just keep happening, and we have plenty to talk about in these live streams. So when one of those days comes where it's real slow, we haven't had a live stream in a while. When I say a while, over a few days or something like that, we'll use some of those topics to kind of get some conversations generated there. The Players Lounge is something else. So we probably are looking at the same thing. Yes, it reminds me of Mos Eisley Cantina. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll know what that is. I think that's probably what they were going for, evoking that type of imagery there. It's really good. Has everybody else seen it? What do you think about it? Share your opinions about it if you want to. So 9-2 last time you checked. That's just quite depressing whatsoever. Alternate uniforms coming, like it or not. So here, I'm actually going to type this in the chat window for you guys, because I always want to give you opportunities to go check out other cool Auburn people. And I talk about this guy a lot, but auburnuniforms.com, and I put it in the chat window for YouTube. If you'll go check that out sometimes, that's where Clint Richardson resides, the Auburn Uniform Database. All the Auburn Uniform stuff there. He tackles the much maligned topic of alternate uniforms and whether or not it's going to be coming. So, yeah. If you want to talk about that stuff, he's the guy there. I am a traditionalist. I hate alternate uniforms. I think Auburn has the best and the most classic. It's so classic, it's modern look for their uniforms that it should not be touched whatsoever. There are few uniforms in college football that should never be touched. I think Auburn is one of those, personally. So that link doesn't work. That's interesting that I can put auburnuniforms.com. That's interesting that I can put that link, my links in there. Have y'all ever tried one of the other links that I put up at the top? Just out of curiosity, not to try to get you to click on it just for that reason. But see if those links work. I'm always curious if they actually work or not. But yeah, go check it out nonetheless. He's a really good source for all that kind of stuff. Oh, now it's 12-2 and still the 7th inning. I know I had this conversation with Clint and a few other people that there's no run rule in college baseball unless the coaches agree to it. This might be one of those cases where they wish they had agreed to it. Although we've seen comebacks come, not so bad there. He says, come on, just try out orange just once. Look, I'm not going to be one of these people that laments about it if we try it sometime, but I'm just a traditionalist. I'm a nostalgia freak, and I don't like change whatsoever. So just, yeah. Anyway, I just don't want to do that. Those links do work, but not auburnuniforms.com. Okay, I'm going to have to investigate why that is, and maybe I can fix that, because I do want you guys to go check out his stuff. We consider Clint probably like a sister site, a sister media entity, because we work along. Clint actually was part of the network's regular contributor shows, where he was part of Inside the Jungle with me, the basketball show. He wanted to step away from podcasting for a little bit, but he comes on every once in a while where we have a uniform topic or something related to that. He'll probably have him on even maybe one of these YouTube shows at some point too. Yeah, so go check him out if you haven't done so. What'd y'all think about the game? Things that stuck out to you? I don't know if some of you have already noticed, I know War Productions noticed this, that I'm doing more of the YouTube shorts, or I'm trying them out. We even asked you guys what types of content that you wanted to see on the YouTube channel a little bit more. And so now we're putting the podcast episodes up there for those of you that want to do that and not go download on a like Apple Podcast or something like that. I hope that you'll do that no matter what, but it's here for you, for those of you that want to go see it. We're doing the shorts as well, and then these live streams. And then hopefully as we get back to a normal society, I want to be out on campus more and go do some of those things that we did vlogs and things like that. You can expect some more of those things here. 7-8 says, I would like to see the chrome helmet with the white uniform. So you mean like a white chrome or gray chrome? What kind of chrome are you talking about? If anything, I would want a matte blue helmet. I love the matte look. And I don't know how well it would look with navy, but the black matte helmets that you see for some of these teams, those would look nice if we're going to talk about that together. So in the short that I did today, I talked a lot about what is the reason that Auburn was able to beat Tennessee. Because if you've watched the last couple of games without Sharif Cooper, inept is not a word that's too harsh to use on this team offensively. However, I will say in the last game there was a lot more a lot more leadership is probably the best way to say it, that arose out of that game. We talked about it in the podcast. But I do think that in this game here, Bruce Pearl made a brilliant move. And I think it's something that we all kind of saw, but nobody would really verbalize it, that we needed to somehow find a way to take some of the point guard role off of Alan Flanagan, because he was struggling in that role. And I mean, but he was the best option that we thought of. But you can't really force someone else to be the point guard in this circumstance we find ourselves in. We've got to find some way to utilize someone else with a little bit of extra point guard time to take some of that pressure off of Alan Flanagan. And he did that beautifully with Jamal Johnson. And if you noticed at times, at least I felt like, it didn't look like Alan or Jamal really was the starting point guard. It was kind of shifting back and forth and forth. And what I thought it did was take the pressure off of Alan Flanagan, allow him, and I think even the commentators on TV utilized this statement and said it looked a little bit like he was being more creative, a little bit more comfortable in his own skin. And we kind of saw what we were seeing at the beginning of the season when he was on the tops of the NBA draft board. It's a shame that it took us getting to this point to get him back to looking like that, although it maybe bodes well for the future of Auburn basketball if all these players that had high potential to go in the draft maybe not so high anymore. I do think it was a brilliant move by Coach Bruce Pearl to do that, and it results in an upset over a number 25 Tennessee team. Now let's not mince words here. This is a Tennessee team that is struggling, that is not looking good right now, but it is a still ranked team, and perception-wise, that says something for the program. For the way they were struggling, that being Auburn, says something for the program, and it's 6 in a row against Tennessee and Rick Barnes. I think it was Clay Travis on Twitter even said he was like dogging Rick Barnes in Tennessee for their decision not only to fire Coach Bruce Pearl, and he said that was probably the worst decision Tennessee's ever made, but he was also dogging Tennessee for Rick Barnes' situation. And, I thought Clay was being a little bit rough because I think Rick Barnes is a great coach and probably an upgrade for Tennessee at the time. But I don't think that Tennessee can look back on a couple years ago, a decade ago now, and say that where they are now versus what the decision they made then to fire Coach Pearl was the right decision. Doesn't look good. There's definitely a program. Tennessee's kind of doing this, whereas Auburn, elite outside of this year, is kind of doing this, and Auburn just keeps going over the top of them every single time, which I'm loving, by the way. So, loved what happened in this game. The mirror chrome look. You have to describe that to me, 7-8. I'm not exactly sure what the mirror chrome is. Are you talking about like where it, shines off of it and you can see your reflection in it? If that's what you're talking about, that's a no for me, dog. That is a big negatory for me, my friend. I cannot do that whatsoever. It is not something that I want. War Productions says, I know you don't really talk about FCS, but you might know a bit about North Dakota State's dominance. So anyway, they're about to lose a game for the first time in 39 games. Yeah, so even though we don't talk a lot about FCS here outside of their connection with Auburn, meaning that they play them or something like that. By the way, I appreciate whoever hit the like button. If y'all can do that, if you're enjoying this content today, that will definitely help the stream out. Yeah, North Dakota State is dominant in that aspect of football, FCS football. The fact that they're about to lose a game. And here's the crazy thing. It's weird to me, whoops, as I knock the microphone around for you guys. It's weird to me to think about their teams just now starting their college football seasons. I mean, how weird is that? Like, just process that for a minute. Because right now, this time last year, I was actually getting into the XFL, only from the simple fact that I could follow some more Auburn players. But it's just weird to think about that. Like the whole thing with Jackson State, and I'm sure that y'all have all seen the Deion Sanders story and things like that. But yeah, the fact that they're playing right now is just crazy. If that's what we're talking about, you're talking about North Dakota State football team. I would assume that's what you're talking about. Neil, what's up, man? War Eagle, happy Saturday. Let me just tell you guys this on that comment alone. If you cannot find something today Auburn-wise to satisfy your needs, I cannot help you. As I said on yesterday's stream, this is the time of year where there's almost too much Auburn stuff going on. So you've got men's basketball today with a huge upset win. Auburn baseball is participating in the Round Rock Classic. Right now, not going so well, but they're still there. They're still participating in a very prestigious event for baseball. So there's that. Equestrian just got a dominant win over Georgia. Track and field is at the SEC Championships, finishing that up today, I believe. They've already got at least 1 gold, 1 silver, and I think a bronze as well. So, a lot of good stuff there. Tennis has been doing good this weekend as well. I'm trying to think of everything else that's been going on. Obviously not a good time for women's basketball, but Unique Thompson did get that rebound record the other day, which was pretty awesome. So, basically this weekend, if you can't find something in Auburn to be happy about, I can't help you. War Production says, talking more about his North Dakota State comments, I kind of like it. It gives FCS more spotlight and not behind the FBS. So that's a great point. Maybe, and so sometimes, bad things happen, but good things come out of them. And maybe this is a model that the FCS looks at and says, okay, didn't think about doing it this way before, but we were kind of forced to. Maybe this is where we get more attention and things like that, because we know that everybody wants to watch more football. That's the reason that they keep trying the XFL, the AAF, the CF, whatever that was a long time ago, USFL. So that might be the market for it. Maybe it will happen going forward, at least for this season. I think it'll be something to at least give us something to pay attention to. Chris asks, do you think we will flip Ty Simpson? Chris, I think you've been here before. Again, I apologize. It's hard to keep up with all the different names that we meet here. What you'll find out about me is I am not going to be your biggest source for recruiting stuff. We're going to talk about it here. I honestly don't even know the name Ty Simpson at this point. Haven't even really looked into it. Most of my knowledge base kind of just rises from the prominent stuff that, it's in the news. Obviously, the Dylan Brooks conversation. By the way, if Jack shows up, I'm going to give him props again for, staying true to his word there and saying that he was sure that Dylan Brooks was going to get his national letter of intent, I guess, negated and get a chance to come to Auburn. He's now calling his shot on, I think, who is he calling his shot on? The other one we were talking about the other day. I forget his name. But he said, I had meant to message him today and say, well, you're 1 for 1, so I think I'm going to put a little bit of oomph behind what you say. So I say all that to say I'm not sure about Ty Simpson. Give me a little bit to learn a little bit more about him. Yeah, War Productions. So we've been doing a track and field show on the podcast network for 5 years now, I think. My wife Jessica is the main one on it. I'm her color commentator who's just there for laughs and stuff like that. We used to have her friend Whitney, who ran track and field as well. And she decided after 1 year she's not that much into podcasting, so she's doing other things now. Yeah, it's been going on for a while, and we have not been able to talk about this much success as a team in quite some time. So if you don't know a lot about Auburn track and field, now is the time to get involved, because it's a great opportunity to see. People get excited about medals, gold, silver, bronze, all that kind of stuff for track and field. I know that's what I get excited about, but the true track and field experts and fans, they get excited about other things, and you can learn about some of those things right now while there's some bigger things happening that might interest you. Neil, I'm happy because it's not raining outside. Well, I'm sure it's raining somewhere in the United States, or in the world for that matter. So probably someone watching's like, I hate you. Yeah, it has been a rainy start to 2021. My yard I'm looking at right now is trying to still dry out. I need it to, so I can start doing some work on it. And now there's this football league called FCF, Fan Controlled Football, where the fans call the plays in an arena-type football league. I'm not really, obviously if there's some Auburn ties to it, there's some Auburn players there, I'm at least going to look at that, but I'm not going to really put a lot into it. I was all in on the XFL this time around, guys. I had hitched my saddle behind the Dallas Renegades because Cameron Artis-Payne was the running back, and I think they had one other Auburn player there as well, maybe an offensive lineman. But I had hitched my saddle behind them, and I was ready to run with with them into the XFL championship. But the Houston Roughnecks were the ones that were winning there. So my interest in professional sports really is mainly limited to who they have that's related to Auburn. Outside of that, probably the only one that I get heavily invested in is baseball, and that with the Atlanta Braves. And that was peak season for me when Josh Donaldson was here. And when I say here, I actually live near Atlanta. So now that he's not here anymore, it's kind of like hurts my heart just a little bit. And Tim Hudson when he was here. Speaking of which, completely forgot that Tim Hudson was an assistant coach now. And I was listening to the radio broadcast of the game yesterday for Auburn baseball. And said Hudson goes out to the mound. And I'm like, hold on. What just happened? Did we go back in time? Like, did we just have some type of like inception moment? And then I had realized he's back as an assistant coach, which is really nice to see. Somewhere out there is someone that is in rank conditions. I guess you are right now, my friend. So what does this mean for Auburn basketball going forward? 2 games left with Alabama. In Alabama, it's going to be a tough one. They're the best team in the SEC right now. It hurts to say it, but it's true. I forget when their game is today, but they are 2 games from outright clinching the SEC regular season title. So with 2 games left, Auburn has a chance for a humongous spoiler NCAA rocking event. Got to do it on the road. Likely without Sharif Cooper, even less likely without Justin Powell. Although if you listen to the commentators today, they were really pushing that narrative. Have you ever noticed that when the media people know that there's a story that'll get you clicking and trying to research on their stuff, if it's something that's actually going to happen, they'll start pushing it? They know the Auburn fans want to see Sharif Cooper one last time, and they know that they want to see Justin Powell with them together. So they're really going to start pushing that. I will probably be wrong on this. I would not put a lot of stock into Sharif Cooper and Justin Powell playing the rest of the year. Obviously, Sharif Cooper's better. The fact that Justin Powell was back on the sideline today was a miracle in and of itself. So I'm glad to see that he was able to, with his head injury, be back out there with all the sounds, the lights, just commotion going on. That's a big step in the right direction for him. But that's still a far way away from getting back on the court for like warm-up reps, much less even participating in a game. So won't see Justin Powell. I would bet we wouldn't see Sharif Cooper. But this team, what they showed you, they are capable of winning without those two. Don't want to do it, but they're capable of it. Alan Flanagan, he is the one that's probably suffered the most from all this year in terms of what he's been asked to do and being put in situations he should never have been put in. So happy to see him succeed that way. So what we're going to do, we're going to say goodbye to social media folks. Everybody say goodbye. Bye, Twitter folks. Thanks for joining us in today. I figured we'd have somewhat of a shorter stream today because I know there's a lot going on in terms of Auburn stuff that people want to pay attention to. So we'll be doing a live stream most likely tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, something like that, as people start waking up, getting back from church and all that good stuff. So I hope that you guys can join us tomorrow. I'm not going away just yet. So if you have last-minute comments, questions about anything, drop them right here. Let's talk about them. Let's hang out for a little bit. But as always, I want to give you guys a little bit of an opportunity to check out some of the stuff. Ways that you can help support the content here. You can listen to the podcast. You can join the Booster Club for as little as $1 a month. Again, I can't stress this enough. If you've been thinking about it, just wanted to go check it out, see what it's all about, sign up to see what's available in there. There are ways you can do that right now and not be charged until the beginning of the month, which starts in 2 days. So now's the time to go check that out if you're interested in that. We take PayPal donations, which people have done before, and we have our TeePublic store where you can get a T-shirt for $13, minus shipping, of course. With plus shipping, of course, I should say. But it is 35% off right now. You can get our logo. I was wearing it earlier today in one of the YouTube shorts that I do. But there are other, this is not one of them, but there are other T-shirts that are sports-related, Auburn-related there that you might want to go check out because it supports us and it supports an Auburn independent artist out there that you don't know about. All those links are going to be in the description and up above at the very beginning of this live chat window as well. So I didn't get any other comments and questions in, so I think that we're going to just say goodbye today. We celebrated the win. Excited for the way this team might be ending their season for Auburn basketball. There's a lot of good Auburn stuff going on this weekend. Talk to you guys very soon. War Eagle.